Steve Baker thinks that the poor election results was because the Conservative voters stayed at home. I mean, he's quite right from that point of view. I think many Conservative voters did stay at home. Some, of course, stayed at home because they didn't have voter ID and their passports were stuck in the Home Office after many months of waiting. Yeah, well, but some voters might well have struggled out and then soiled their ballot paper, or or they might have voted for somebody else. The idea of people staying at home is an excuse, and why are they staying at home is really the question. They're staying at home because they have lost confidence in the government to keep its word. It's a symptom of the failure of the government. It's not it's not it's not really an excuse that can be wheeled out. This is a loss of confidence in the government, and it's not a it's not an expression of confidence in the opposition. Very few elections are won by the opposition. I think Tony Blair's election in 1997 was remarkable because of the effort that was put into the Blair campaign to promote policies which might win an election and to present this renewed, this different Labour, the new Labour. What Starmer has been doing is to present a Labour that is restored. That's slightly different. Restored after the collapse into the insanity of Corbyn. And Corbyn may have been creative and bizarre, but nobody can doubt that he was honest. And for example, I know Jeremy Corbyn's brother, and I'm always entertained when we meet because he always remembers. We never meet by arrangement. We always meet by chance, and he always remembers the last part of the conversation that we had months ago, and digs into his briefcase and starts handing me extra papers. And it's always charming, slightly loopy, and very refreshing. And I have no doubt that his brother is very similar. I would feel very uncomfortable with such a man as the Prime Minister. But equally, I feel uncomfortable when I look at the present Conservative administration, who got into power in 2019. I remember it vividly. I was in a studio for Channel 4. They got into power with the promise that they would build 14 hospitals. Where are they? With the promise that they would level up. Well, Gove has said, "Oh, you can't judge us on that yet. We need 15 years or so." What rubbish! They promised that they would bring the NHS waiting list down. They've gone up. They promised to get Brexit done. Well, yes, that was sort of done. That was the easy bit, except surely when promising to get something done, when I promise to write my homework or to prepare my lessons, then the implication is that they're going to be of quality. This is simply tossing some rubbish off and saying, there, it's done. That's a D-grade stuff, isn't it? And that's what we got with Brexit. I have yet to hear somebody tell me the benefits of Brexit. And it's much the same thing with the stopping the small boats. Stopping the small boats, Rishi Sunak has confused the problem with the solution. There are many solutions to the problem. One solution was the Rwanda solution. That was the most outrageous solution. And that solution has been confused with the problem. So if you don't accept Rwanda, then you don't accept the small boats should be stopped. Of course the small boats should be stopped. The small boats are a danger to life. But they're not going to be stopped by Rwanda. If somebody is prepared to endanger their life by getting in a small boat, They're not going to be deterred by the thought that after they get to the shores of Britain, they might be sent to Rwanda. This is fantasy. This is fantasy on a large scale with a large bankroll, and it's a waste of our money.